You got questions, I got answers.
I want the truth!
Alright, well, you got questions, I got the truth. And in this video, I am answering your questions with some truth and sometimes some speculation. So let's get into it, guys. It's gonna be a fun one. Let's go smash it.
ValleyFlyin.
Hey, what's up all you Valley Maniacs? ValleyFlyin here. I am back. Welcome to the channel, and in this video, I am answering questions from you. Yes, I have looked through the comment section, I have looked through the Discord, I've set up a separate channel for that, and now I'm answering the questions that you guys have. And there are some questions that I've seen a lot, especially about who is required for this new legendary event coming up, X-Men legendary event. Yeah, well, I'm gonna save that one for the end, but let's get into these questions, guys. All right, so first question comes from Cryptshot Brandon. What happened to Phil? I had high hopes for a crazy overpowered shield team, and now I feel like I've gotten Fox nexted. Well, he is in the game, at least his character artwork is in the game as far as I know. The rest of his kit, I am not sure, and I'm not sure when they're gonna add him. Now, I was hoping that they would add him around Avengers Endgame, like around the last patch. They haven't done so, and we have a few movies lined up. I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when I'm answering another question. But after those movies, I think will be a very likely time for him to be released. Although maybe they're going to sneak him in with one of these other movie tie-ins. So we will have to see on that. All right, so next question comes from Kevin Hunt. How/where do you search for alliances? Can you see rosters? Yes, you can. So if we go into the game right now and you go to this alliance section right here, you click on that. There's a little bit of a load time when you gotta get in there. But when you finally get into this alliance section, you can check out the alliance members, and when you check on the switch alliance, you can type in whatever alliance you want right here. So you could do a search, and like Casino said, you could put a period in the beginning, or you could put a period and a plus in the beginning if you're not able to search who you want. Like this alliance right here, Kansai, they have a red tag, so you're not gonna be able to search for them. So you put a period, plus, and then search for the alliance name, and that is basically how you search for alliances. Next question comes from Port Royal Scott. When will they bring Red Skull to the game? Also, how are they gonna have X-Men team without Professor X? So lame. As far as Red Skull, same thing with Coulson. I think the soonest that we'll see him is in about 2 months, maybe the end of July, beginning of August. That will be the soonest. When will they add him? I don't know. He's been in the game since beta, so hopefully sooner than later. I think he can complete that Hydra team. I think they'll make him a good team. Let's see what they do with him though. And as far as Professor X, yeah, I know he's super powerful, but I'm not sure how excited I would be to see Professor X come to the game. I know when I played Future Fight, they added a bunch of X-Men. People were really excited, but Professor X was not one of them, and I wasn't too disappointed. So let me know in the comments if you guys really want to see Professor X in the game, or if you're kind of like me and kind of indifferent towards Professor X. Let's see what happens though. Next question, Brandon Brown. Hey Valley, not sure if you'll read this. I am reading this. But you made a video about farming specific orange mats in the supply store. I wasn't sure if you realized the war store sells them in sets of 5 for 1,175 credits. Yes, I was. Hopefully that helps you. Didn't know. If you know that, and spread the love to everyone. Drop my name. Haha, just kidding. Have a great day. Keep up the good work. All right, so I did mention your name, Brandon. All right. I do know that they sell that. For me, I don't spend a lot of my war credits on supplies. The exception for that is if I see an orange unique, and those are hard to come by, especially if I see that gamma radiation from Minerva. I only got 2 of her as of me recording this, so I might not be taking her into Fear the Darkness, even though she's the best character. Just might be able to get some of these other characters in there a little sooner. So yes, they are in there, and if you're short, the exception for this is if I'm short a few. Like I'm trying to get Juggernaut up, and I'm short a few of these orange, not unique, just the orange gear. I'm probably gonna buy some if I see it there, just so I can complete it. But other than that, I'm probably not buying this normal orange gear. Next question comes from Deadly Venom 354. When is the X-Men update? So if we go and look at the movie release date, because Fox Next has a history of doing releases tied into movies around that movie time. We see that the Dark Phoenix release date is June 7th, 2019. So my guess would probably be around that time. probably that week or the week before. There was a data mine that suggests that an update is coming soon. However, that was not released in game yet. My guess would be the week before the Dark Phoenix movie is released. And then we also have Spider-Man coming on July 2nd. So those are the two movie releases that we need to pay attention to, because I think there's going to be tie-ins in the game based on that, just based on what Fox Next has done in the past. All right, next question comes from Dwizzle Dizzle. How did you come up with the name ValleyFlyin? Well, it has to do with rugby. So shout out to all the rugby players out there. So I was playing for rugby for a while for San Fernando Valley Rugby Club. Awesome group of guys out there, and I use that name. The flying part comes from my coach. He called me the Flying Hawaiian because I'm from Hawaii, and I like to think I was fast. Maybe it was just the name that he used there. But anyway, so I took the name Flying Hawaiian and San Fernando Valley, just combined them, ValleyFlyin, and that's where my video game name came from way back in the day, and I've still used that, and when I created the channel, that's what I used. So pretty simple, but it has to do with rugby, my old rugby playing days. All right, Black Label asks, when does Orange Unique come to the store? I'm at level 64 at the moment. Now, this is a little trickier question for me to answer, because when they added this to the store, I think I was already at level 70. So I'm not sure if they start to add stuff as you get up to the levels. As far as the uniques, you kind of got to get lucky. And there's some days that I refresh that store 6 times, and you get the normal reset 3 times a day. So out of 9 times, I've seen none. And you kind of got to get lucky with that. But I'm not sure if the orange is only added after you get to a certain level, but kind of got to get lucky for those uniques. Oddball Comics, my boy, and I'm probably doing a collab with him very soon. Why won't you join our alliance? I actually just switched alliances, and good group of guys there, and I don't know. I see no problems with them, so I am not sure, Oddball, but we'll talk in maybe the next video that I do. All right, and Sorian Sky asks, any characters you think are viable at 6 to 7 red stars that otherwise are not? Well, that's a little tricky for me to answer, because I don't have any characters at 7 stars, and I only have 2 characters at 6 stars, and they're not very good, not very impressive. One of them is Kingpin, and yeah, his value is based on his kit, so not a very good red star character. And I also got Stitcher, and Stitcher's not a very good character. But with that said, the characters that I think that benefit the most from having more red stars on them are obviously, geez, I can't talk, are going to be your damage dealers. So Rocket, those kind of characters. Now I know they're already viable without those stars, but your damage dealers are going to see a big boost when you have those stars on them. You're also going to see a little bit of a boost from healers, especially actually only the healers that heal based on the percentage of their max health. So more red stars on them, the more health pool they have, and the more healing they're going to do. And then the other one is going to be your tanks, because you know, the more health they have, the harder they're going to be to get around. They're going to have a little more resistance, hopefully, so they're going to be a little harder to get that taunt off of them. So I think as far as characters go, you know, these are the characters that I think are pretty good. I've built them. And down here, I think they're not that good. So all these characters down here, all these AIM minions, Hydra minions, exception is Falcon. I think Falcon is a pretty good character. I just haven't built him yet. But most of these characters down here, not very good, and I wouldn't worry about them too much. But yeah, your damage dealers, your healers, and then your tanks. I think you're going to see the biggest boost from having more red stars on them. All right, McPot45, what do you do for a living besides MSF content? Well, most of my career I've spent in the fitness industry, done personal training, and I've done boot camps. I've ran a few of those, and I've done sales in the fitness industry as well. Took a little bit of a hiatus, went to the finance industry for about 2 years or so. So mutual funds, life insurance, and then went back to the fitness industry because that is where my passion is. I love working out and I love helping people work out. Currently though, my wife is traveling a lot, so we thought it was best just to have me stay home, take care of the kids, take care of the house, because she does pretty well. And I'm doing some content on YouTube, and hopefully this will take off. Speaking of which, check out the Valley merch links and the links for BlueStacks and Patreon in the description down below. All right, a bad on 22 from Discord asks, do you think they will ever rework Nebula? She has been one of my favorite Marvel characters they gave her more damage and maybe some synergy, she could be good. Thoughts? I agree that if she got more damage and more synergy, maybe that Guardians tag, maybe that Ravager tag, maybe both, she could be very good. As far as if I think they will ever rework her, again, when we look at those movie releases, I don't see something that makes sense for them to just rework her out of the blue, but I think if they would rework her, it would be around the Guardians of the Galaxy 3 movie release. I don't know when that is going to be, but if it would come, I think it would be around that time. If she does not get reworked, then I think it's very unlikely for her to get reworked. So a ways down the road, if they ever do anything with Nebula, unfortunately, because I think she is a good character in a one-on-one situation. Outside of that, doesn't really offer too much in the game. Ostius asks, what is the best way to gather ABCs? I'm working on getting characters to T12 and then T13. And I don't think you're gonna like this answer. I think the best way to get them is into supply store. Yes, it costs a lot of gold, but this game is all about prioritization. You can't really focus on everything. And if your goal is to get to T12, T13, that is probably where you should spend gold. That is where I'm getting the most of my ABCs. But yeah, hopefully you get lucky and see it in a raid store, or you get it in one of those raid orbs. But other than that, not a real good way to get these. I don't like to spend campaign energy on farming ABCs, although if that is the thing that you're missing, it might not be a bad idea to do that. Also, could you look at this post on this forum and give feedback? So this post right here is about Doc Ock, probably Spider-Man's greatest enemy. I think he should be introduced in an equal manner as a unique legendary character. I don't think he should be introduced to the Blitz like all the Wakandans. I don't think AIM should unlock him. All right, so as far as him being a legendary character, I don't have a problem with that. Shuri, she is Black Panther's sister, very small role in the last couple movies, but she had a legendary event. Yes, the legendary Shuri did have an event. So if she had an event, I don't see why Doc Ock couldn't have an event and be a legendary character. As far as the timing, we talked a little bit about the movie release date of Spider-Man Far From Home. If they would do something with Spider-Verse, that could be a target time, although I don't think he's in the movie, so I'm not sure how much sense that would make to release him around that date. But we will have to see. They've done surprising things in the past. Maybe in a downtime when there's no movies around the corner, they would release him. And a legendary character, I don't think they're gonna do that, but I wouldn't have a problem if they did, especially when Shuri had her own legendary event. Doctor Who asks, what character do you need to unlock Fury the next time he comes around? I want to be prepared this time. This is more of a newer player question. You need the Kree minions. So farm those, get them at least 5-star, and you could unlock Fury. All right, and Rootleaf asks, communication from Fox Next has gotten better with the addition of Cerebro as CM, but there's still a long way to go with stealth buffs and moving the goalposts still happening without any acknowledgement from Fox Next. Can you speak to whether or not they have a plan to address that? Well, I cannot. I don't know whether they have a plan to address that. I think they're going to keep doing this, and the reason is just for the longevity of the game. Doesn't feel good, and in their defense, this last alpha raid, they did give an announcement that it would be changing a few days before they actually launched the raid, so it wasn't a stealth buff. But I don't like the buffs. I'm like most of you guys. I think it sucks. I really wanted to get that orange unique gear so I could get guys through Fear the Darkness. But yeah, I for some reason, I don't know. Maybe because they switched the character, I didn't have as much problem with this new raid being buffed. But yeah, I hope they stop this or find a way that it doesn't feel as bad. Because for me, I really want that orange unique gear. And when they buff these raids and just so close to getting it and they buff it, it doesn't feel good. So hopefully they do address that. I'm not sure how to pronounce this name. I guess it's Exodia. Will Avengers get their rework / buff? I know Hulk recently has, but they need better synergy to compete with other metas. Yes, I agree that they do. Avengers should be one of the stronger teams in the game, considering who they have on the team, but they're not. So I thought that they would buff Thor because Thor is not in a great place right now as far as the game. The rest of the Avengers I thought were okay, just based on their canon and the MCU and some of the comics, as far as at least as what I view these characters as. I was hoping they would get a buff earlier, but they didn't. I don't know when they're gonna get it. It should have been a couple weeks ago when they did that for Hulk. So hopefully Thor gets buffed soon. Have no idea when it's gonna happen though. So yeah, crossing my fingers just like all of you guys. Hello, is Wolverines Rework coming or? Question. So I have heard rumors that Wolverine is getting a rework for this X-Men update. Nothing confirmed, nothing official. But I have heard that he is getting a little bit of a rework. And another question that was asked on YouTube was about Falcon's bonus attack not working. Couldn't find the comment. I think the person actually deleted it, but he asked me to reach out to CM Cerebro, and CM Cerebro did say this. He can confirm that is a display bug only. The damage is registered, but the second damage value isn't shown. And he believes that it is supposed to be fixed with his next client release. We'll see what happens with it. For me, if you guys see my roster, I don't have Falcon built up very much, so I did not notice this bug. I don't think I've ever used him in a battle, actually. So hopefully it gets fixed. If it's just a visual bug, then I'm cool. All right, and here we are at the question of the hour. Douglas Bird was the screenshot that I took that asked this question, but many people also asked this question. Any idea what it might take to unlock the new legendary? All right, so I have no answers on this, but I do have some speculation based on what Fox Next has done in the past. So I made an Excel sheet, and these are the characters that are required to unlock these certain legendary characters. So for Fury, we need these Kree minions. For Iron Man, we need Shield characters. For Magneto, we need either Brotherhood or X-Men. For Shuri, we need the Spider-Verse, and for Star-Lord, either Guardians or Ravagers. Now, they have not repeated any of these legendary characters, so I would say you could cross these guys off the list. There's also legendary characters that could fit into this, but I didn't put them on this list. So I would say none of these characters would be required to unlock the X-Men. We also have some Flash events. A little bit of an overlap right here with the Block Party, because Spider-Man and Miles Morales Spider-Man are both city heroes, so they go into Block Party. So the rest of the city heroes, I would say it's unlikely because they're already there. The Hand, I would say that's unlikely either because they already have that Relic Hunter event. And then with the Payday event, you have those Mercs. So I would say they're unlikely. Exception of that is one character, Killmonger, maybe Deadpool though. And if we look at the rest of the characters though, we got the Ames and the Hydra. They stand out as a faction that has not been represented at all in a legendary unlock. So very possible, although they did say in a blog post that they would not be required for a legendary event until they got a rework. So you could say that is truth, or you could look back and see how they have went back on their word many times in the past. So who knows if it will be AIM or Hydra. The one team that I'm seeing here that I think can be likely just based on what we've seen before is that Wakandans. Black Panther was recently added to the Alpha Raids to give people more of a shot to get shards for him, primarily aimed at more newer characters. We just had a lot of these Wakandan events, these blitzes, and there's no way to farm them. So if they wanted to make money from this legendary event, it does make sense that they would use Wakandans. Although any of these other characters are also viable. And let me know your guesses down below, guys. No definitive answer on this one, but just looking at some past history. So let me know what you think in the comments down below. Who do you think it's going to take to unlock this legendary X-Men? So thank you to everybody that submitted questions. If your question did not get answered, you can go to the Discord server. There is a new channel there for these mailbag questions, and leave it there. I'll make sure to check it out next time, and I will at least look at all the questions, and hopefully your question makes it onto the next video. Do plan to do these every so often, but if the demand is high enough, if you guys want this, I will do this on a more consistent basis, maybe like a weekly basis or something. Let me know in the comments what you guys want to see, guys. If you guys like this video, obviously subscribe to the channel, share this with all your friends, maybe they could get some of their questions answered. Smash on that like button, join the notification squad. There are some links down below in the description if you want to support the channel. Patreon, BlueStacks, and Valley merch. I will see you guys next time. Hulk fist bump, ValleyFlyin, out!